Incremental routines. So basically today, March 27th, it's the anniversary of incremental reading. In this case, 25 years already. Oh my god. And I want to make my contribution today to commemorate the anniversary. To emphasize this, that hey, that's not something new. It's been 2.5 decades already. So, to have some perspective, let's put the timeline. And by the way, what you see here now is what's called Supermemo. That is a software that is implementing incremental reading, by the way. I did that on purpose, to come full circle. And who am I? I'm William Palau. I have been running this channel for more than 4 years, covering incremental reading, about close to 1,000 videos. So, oh my god. Then let's start. You may have heard this word, Zettelkasten, index cards, or some other words that more or less is that you have some card or paper, that you have some method, systematic method, so you can link other cards, pieces of paper. Nice. That was born more or less in the 50s or in the 70s, depending on how strict you are. I was using pen and paper, which was a very sophisticated approach for the limitations, the analog limitations of paper. Then, in 1985, Piotr Wozniak developed or created what's called spaced repetition. That, hey, you take notes, you learn or whatever, now you want to commit this to long-term memory. You have this, which was born as well, pen and paper. Then 2 years later, in the 1987, he did the first computer algorithm. So basically, a computer that does the job systematically, no longer pen and paper, with all of the massive advantages that came across this. Then, the software is called Supermemo, and now I'm using the 19th version, 37 years later. But then, only 13 years of evolution, Piotr Wozniak did incremental reading. It's how he coined it. Perhaps it's not the best name, because it's not limited to reading. I'm not here to explain what it is. You will understand why in a few minutes. But basically, it's the next chapter, the next paradigm is because there's another dimension. We have computers with spatial partition. Now with incremental reading, it's because we had connection to the internet. I can get any document I want, any reading material I want, or video or podcast or whatever. And the next big thing, 2 years ago, more or less with the ChatGPT, when it became viral, is that we have AI assistants, artificial intelligence. But what happens is that a lot of people are still stuck on a spatial repetition with Anki, RepNote, or in Zettelkasten kind of style, like the Obsidian, Notion, this kind of note-taking. Like I archive information and then I retrieve my queries, but I'm not going to put this in my brain. And that is basically because most of people are not even aware of such a thing. It's just a pity. So I would like to emphasize this even more. There's one interview from 3 years ago to Stefan Ango, who today and back in the day was already the CEO of Obsidian. That's the video if you want to check it out. From Nicole van der Hoven, I think it will be pronounced. The point is this. It's literally his words. We're still at the very beginning of people adopting these tools. Personal knowledge management, tools of thought, whatever you want to call it. So anyone who's watching that video is likely to be in the top 0.01% of people who knows anything about this. So I'm aware of the concept. Hey, I heard Zettelkasten, but I never use it. Oh, I heard spatial repetition, never use it. Oh, I heard incremental reading, but I have never used it. Like, we are creating a new generation of tools that help people unlock the way they think, Basically, the point is that you may think you're in the vanguard already. I'm way ahead of most of the people. Well, turns out, you're outdated already. So what you're doing is, an up-to-date, a modern version of Zettelkasten with computers, with the internet, and with AI. But the paradigm is still the same from the 50s. You haven't evolved. It makes sense. And why this happened? Because incremental reading is extremely niche. Why? Because Supermemo is the only software that is implementing this. It's itself a challenge, but other than that, the software is very crude, very old, computer only, Windows only, and so on. So this already creates so many friction, deal breakers, that even most of the people who even want to try are not going to do it. Then what is incremental reading? I just published an article today about this. That is how it's imported in Supermemo itself or in the website. So in a nutshell, what it is, the evolution more or less, straight to the point, how it works, the funnel of knowledge, the benefits, drawbacks, because it is not for everyone, and why not everyone is using it. Even though I said it's not for everyone, it's in the point that, hey, why not everyone even knows what it is, right? And I think it's backed up with references, by the way. So the point is that for many years, I have been doing an individual effort in flexible learning, covering almost 1,000 videos for incremental reading. That is no longer true. In this website is from the company I co-founded. Now it's a team effort. The point is not limited to introduce incremental reading or letting people how to use incremental reading. It goes beyond that. You can click on About Us for more details, but long story short, is about self-directed learning. So going back, the point that I want to emphasize is that it's been around for 25 years. It's nothing new. It's time to become mainstream. But to become mainstream, we need to detach incremental reading, the method, from the tool, Supermemo, so it can be used in any other software. And yes, I'm aware that there are add-ons for Anki, RepNote, and so on, that is incremental reading. It's a start, but it's not a flow. It's not a flow, you can call it incremental reading. You have more details, by the way, in the article. In the article, I mentioned this specifically. And one last thing is that, wait. It happens that I'm privileged that I have direct contact with Piotr Wozniak, the creator himself. And we chatted today, just a few hours ago. And that is more or less what a small text of what he sent me. So he created a task. No worries about what's the jargon about Supermemo, in this case, the tool. The point that I want to emphasize is more or less the reading between lines. That even himself, the creator, 25 years later, he still has some needs. That, hey, I need this cumulative subset review for massive prioritization within the top priority staff. Even if you don't understand what it is, because you're not familiar with the app, the point is this, that A, it is still evolving. Even the creator has these details here and there, but is very attached to the tool. That's why we need to move on from Supermemo eventually and recreate this. So first, what is the essence of incremental reading? Is something we will discover in the Soki community. So we just don't have a website with insights. We also have a full-fledged community. So feel free to join, link in the description. And by the way, you also have Piotr Wozniak himself in the server. It's not guaranteed, but could be the case that if he doesn't respond to your emails, he may respond to you here. So basically, what is incremental reading? Without Supermemo, I tried my best with my article. Then very soon, we'll have an event in the Soki community to improve at least the Wikipedia page. It's likely that you check what is incremental reading, you go here, and it's not a good case. Doesn't do justice. There's a lot of room of improvement for this article in Wikipedia. So one of the goals from Soki community would be to recreate, to update the Wikipedia page so it stays more true of what incremental reading is and the most agnostic to the tool. So without relying on Supermemo as much. All of the details will be in the description, and if you watch this video later on, you will see the recording and the post-event details as well. That's all for now. See you incrementally in this channel and in the Soki community as well.